Good morning, students. Yesterday we studied Riemann integral and what is Riemann sum. So what is Riemann sum? In the Riemann sum, we know that I equal to 1 to n f of zeta I into xi minus 1 is known as Riemann sum. Okay. So here zeta is taken from the subinterval where zeta is a real number which is taken from the subinterval xi comma xi minus 1. So here we have so many ways to select zeta I from the subinterval xi in any subinterval. So we have so many ways. So you can take zeta as xi, or you can take zeta as xi minus 1, or you can take any value lies between from xi to xi minus 1. So depending on that, we have three definitions. So by selecting of zeta I, we have three definitions. So first of all, you write there are infinitely many ways. There are infinitely many ways of choosing. There are infinitely many ways of choosing the point zeta I. So depending on selection of the number zeta I, we have three definitions. Okay. So there are infinitely many ways of choosing the point zeta I in the subinterval. Xi minus 1. Xi minus 1 to xi. I wrote xi to xi minus 1. Actually xi minus 1 to xi. Okay. Where I equal to 1 to so on n. So each and every subinterval we will get by substituting I equal to 1 to n. So by choosing, suppose I am choosing what I am choosing? I am choosing the number zeta I. Zeta I equal to, suppose I am choosing from this interval zeta I equal to xi minus 1. So lower limit of this interval, subinterval. Suppose I am choosing zeta I equal to xi minus 1, where I equal to 1 to so on. Then we have Riemann integral a to b f of x dx, which can be written as limit n tends to infinity and maximum xi minus 1 tends to 0. When n tends to infinity, we know that maximum xi minus 1 tends to 0. Summation I equal to 1 to n. Summation limit of n tends to infinity. Here write summation I equal to 1 to n f of xi minus 1. In place of zeta I selected xi minus 1 into xi minus 1. Xi minus xi minus 1 is known as which is known as the left hand rule. So this integration, which is summation I equal to 1 to n f of xi minus 1. In place of zeta I selected xi minus 1. If you select a lower limit of the interval, then this integration is known as left hand rule of Riemann sum. Left hand rule of Riemann integral, right? Left hand rule of evaluating Riemann integral. Riemann integral. In place of zeta I, if you select the lower limit of the interval xi minus 1, then it is known as left hand rule of the evaluating Riemann integral. By choosing, suppose I am choosing zeta I is equal to xi. Suppose I am choosing zeta I equal to xi, where I equal to 1 to n. We have again we have integration a to b f of x dx. We have a to b f of x dx is equal to limit n tends to infinity when n is tending to infinity, and the maximum value of xi minus xi minus 1. Xi minus xi minus 1 tends to 0. Summation I equal to 1 to n f of xi into xi minus 1 is known as the right hand rule. The right hand rule of evaluating Riemann integral. Okay, if I choose zeta equal to xi, then in place of zeta I substitute f of xi, then it is known as right hand rule of evaluating Riemann integral. Suppose I am choosing zeta equal to xi minus 1 plus xi. By taking the average of these two, you will get mid value of the interval, right? So xi minus 1 plus xi by 2, where I equal to 1, 2, so on n. We have the integral a to b f of x dx. A to b f of x dx is equal to, how we can write, limit n tends to infinity and maximum value of xi minus 1 tends to 0 when n tends to infinity, tends to 0. Summation I equal to 1 to n f of xi minus 1 in place of zeta I xi minus 1 plus xi by 2 into xi minus 1 is known as the midpoint rule. Midpoint rule of evaluating Riemann integral. Okay, these are three definitions depending on zeta I, selection of zeta I. If you select zeta equal to xi minus 1, then it is called left hand rule. If you select right hand side xi in place of zeta I, if you substitute xi, then that is called right hand rule. If you take the average of these two endpoints of the interval as a zeta I, then it is called midpoint rule. Okay, so these three definitions are depending on selection of zeta I number, right? Now let us write some remarks. Write the remarks. First remark is, if the Riemann integral which is denoted by a to b integration a to b f of x dx. If the Riemann integral a to b f of x dx exists, if this integration is exist, then the Riemann integral. Now let us write some remarks. Okay, first remark is, if the Riemann integral integration a to b f of x dx exist, if this Riemann integral is exist, then the Riemann integral integration a to x f of u du is well defined. is well defined real number. Well defined real number is well defined real number for every x belongs to closed interval a comma b. So we can define a function capital F of x. A function capital F of x. We can define a function capital F of x on closed interval a comma b. On closed interval a comma b, such that capital F of x is equal to integration a to x f of u du. F of u du for all x belongs to closed interval a comma b. So this is first remark. Now second remark. Remark 2. If f of x values are greater than or equal to 0, that means y values above the x axis, okay, positive values. If y values are positive values for all x belongs to closed interval a comma b. For all x belongs to closed interval a comma b. Then the remain integral. Then the remain integral integration a to b f of x dx. Integration a to b f of x dx is equal to the geometric area equal to the geometric area of the region bounded by the graph of y equal to f of x, the x axis and the lines x equal to a, x equal to b. See here, the meaning of this is, suppose I am taking one function here. Suppose I am taking one function in the domain. I am taking the function graph in the domain x equal to a to b. So this is x axis and this is the function y equal to f of x. Now this area is bounded between the lines x equal to a, x equal to b, and with the graph and with the x axis. Okay. So to find this total area by using the integration, we have to take one small strip in this area. So I am taking this small strip in this area. So its width is, we have to take it as dx, small change in x, dx. And this height of the rectangle is, we have to take as f of x. Then how to get, if you assume this as a rectangle, then how to find the area of this small strip? The small strip area is length into breadth. What is the length? F of x. What is the breadth? Dx. So f of x into dx is the area of small strip here. Area of small strip in this region, total region. Similarly, we are dividing total area into small strips from a to b. So if you integrate from a to b, and by taking the area of small strip and using these limits, you will get the entire area of the function. Okay, entire area of the function. So it will indicate the area bounded by the function, graph of the function, and x-axis and between the lines x equal to a and x equal to b. Right? Now remark 3. Third remark. Remark 3. If the function values are less than or equal to 0. Less than or equal to 0 means graph lies below the x-axis. Okay. For all x belongs to closed interval a comma b. Then the Riemann integral. A to b f of x dx. A to b f of x dx is equal to the negative of the geometric area of the region bounded by the graph y equal to f of x x-axis and the lines x equal to a comma x equal to b and the lines x equal to a. So the area lies between the graph and x-axis and x equal to a, x equal to b lines. So the geometric area of the region. Geometric area of the region bounded by these lines and graph is denoted by mod of a to b f of x dx. So we have to take modulus when the f of x values lies below the x-axis. For example, suppose I am taking one graph of the curve in the intervals x equal to a to x equal to b, and the graph is lying below the x-axis. So I am taking y equal to f of x here, and this is x-axis. Now this is the required area of the graph, bounded area which is bounded between the graph and lines and the x-axis. Suppose I am taking this small strip width is I am taking as dx, and this y value is minus f of x. So this is minus f of x. Why? Because it is lies below the x-axis, it is denoted by minus f of x. So the value will be how to get the total area. So by integrating from a to b, here f of x dx minus f of x dx. So this is total area, no? So to remove this minus, we have to use mod. So by using mod, you will get this as a to b f of x dx is the required area of the region, which is lies below the x-axis. Okay. So remaining remarks. Now remark fourth remark. If f of x takes positive values as well as negative values, positive values as well as negative values on closed interval a comma b. So some part of the graph is above the x-axis, some part of the graph below the x-axis. So that time f of x will take sometimes positive values, sometimes negative values in the given domain. Then the interval at that time the interval a comma b, lower interval a comma b can be divided into subintervals a comma c1, c1 comma c2, so on up to suppose ck comma b, such that f of x has the same sign, throughout each of subinterval. So the Riemann integral, R is nothing but Riemann integral a to b f of x dx, integration a to b f of x dx is given by integration a to c1 f of x dx plus c1 to c2 f of x dx plus so on integration ck to b f of x dx. So this is the Riemann integral, definite integral. How we can define this definite integral? So a to b f of x dx, in this subinterval one integration, in this subinterval one integration. So sum of all subintervals integrations will give the Riemann integral. So in this case, so sometimes f of x positive, sometimes in subintervals it may be negative, no? So in this case, if we need geometric area, in this case the geometric area of the region bounded by graph y equal to f of x axis and the lines x equal to a, x equal to b is given by. So if we need geometric area, so if you need Riemann integral, directly you add the integrations in subintervals. Suppose if you need the area, then it is given by, from in this subinterval a to c1 f of x dx, take the integration and put the mod. Why? Because area should not be negative. Sometimes f of x is negative, sometimes f of x is positive, no? So to make f of x, if it is negative, make it positive, we have to put mod. So for every subinterval we have to put mod dx plus so on up to integration ck to b f of x dx. So this will give the area bounded by the curves. Previous one is given as Riemann integral. So Riemann integral need not be represent always the total area. Okay. So this is the fourth remark. So in this way we can discuss. So we have to do some problems tomorrow. Okay.